Today I'm going to show you how to do the first SPSS assignment. Step 1, we start from the gradebook and we need to find the data file, and it's under Data Files at the top. I click on that and I'm going to select the role of a student in the university, and this contains both our data and a description of what's on that data. So step 1, I'm going to create the SPSS data file and then I'm going to document it. So I just highlight the variable names and the data. I right click, I copy. I'm going to open an Excel file, just a blank file. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. So I've taken the data, copied it from the screen, pasted it into Excel, and then note that I've got the variable names at the top and the 20 lines of data. So then I'm going to save this, and I'll put it, let's put it in my computer, just put it on our desktop so we can find it. And we'll call it FirstSPSS. And I created this earlier, but I'll save it. And we don't need the Excel anymore. We'll still keep this up on our screen because we'll need it in a minute. So the next step is to open a blank SPSS data file. So we open SPSS. And it takes a while for this to open. I'm going to X that out. I'm going to read a data file, so I'm going to open a data file and I put it on my desktop. I have to remember where I put it because I know I'm going to need this later on. And it's an Excel file. So there's FirstSPSS, that's the one that I saved. So I double click on it. I'm just going to read everything. And there's our data file. We read it from Excel. We need to do some work to clean it up. First, we'll go click on Variable View down at the bottom. We can click between Data View and Variable View. And we really don't want any decimals in here. So we'll set these all to 0. And the columns, we'll set those to 8. Just to make it easier to read. Now we can move from Variable View to Data View. And note we got rid of the decimal points and we can see everything now on the screen. Now we want to document our data file. The two things I want you to remember about computer data files are, first of all, document, document, document. And the second thing is to backup, backup, backup. So first of all, we're going to document. We're going to take basically the survey was structured and put that information into the data. So we'll store both the data and the documentation in the same file. That's one of the beauties of SPSS. So we go from Data View to Variable View. And where we're going to work is on values. Now, subject and age, we don't need any values. But for gender, we want to tell it that a 1 is a male and a 2 is a female. We add and then we click on OK. 1 was a freshman. 2 sophomore, 3 junior, 4 senior, and 5 other. Click OK. Support. Go 1 is family, 2 myself, 3 scholarship, 'kay, I misspelled that, and 4 was other. Okay, now we have apprentice. These 3 were all the same, where 1 was strongly disagree, 2 was disagree, 3 was no opinion, 4 was agree, and 5 was strongly agree. And I find that it's always best to make interpretation easier to have the bigger the number, the more they agree. So that's why I start with strongly disagree and I end with strongly agree. Now these 3 are the same, so I can just click on the first one that I just created, copy it, highlight the next 2, Warden Client, and paste. Curriculum, 1 was none, 2 was committee membership, 3 was voting, 4 was equal, and 5 was total. Okay, again, the next 2 are the same, so we can copy and paste. We'll do it one way or the other. So now we can click on the data view, and we see that we've got our documentation. We can view it differently. We can go back and view the numbers by turning off value labels, this is what our data file actually looks like. But when we click on value labels, we see how they actually responded. We tie in the value labels with the actual numbers. So we're really done. So we can take this and we will save it. And we'll put it in our desktop. We'll call it FirstSPSS. And I already had one, so we'll save it. Same thing. Again, we'll remember where we saved it because we're going to need it. 1, we're going to need it to upload, and 2, we're going to need it for the first test. So now we're done. We don't really need to save anything. We can go back to our gradebook. we can browse for the data file, and we put it in desktop and call it FirstSPSS and open, and we've uploaded our data file. And that's all there is to it.